way we're reading.
So we'll go up here in front of you.
Approval of minutes. I have a couple. So, from what date? From Tuesday, May 26th.
Well, this is May 11th.
All right, so May 11th, we made a motion at the last meeting that those were approved with the amendments. We just didn't sign them.
Right.
Okay, so we just need signature on here. Did we make did we take out the amendments? Or did we update these minutes to reflect those amendments?
Okay, I had the one that was showing that I hand wrote it.
What was the date on this?
May 11th?
The board reviewed and discussed them. Corrections were noted and incorporated. The motion was made by me and seconded by Mark.
There's no corrections showing on that.
Yeah.
They can't written ones.
Well, there's things that needed to be, I think, crossed out. I just want to make sure that that's.
Okay, I'll get it done then.
Okay, so we'll just
Sorry.
table those. No, that's all right. We'll just table those two. The next meeting will be. Oh. Funny stuff. I'm not going to do that.
I apologize for that.
No, that's fine. So 526.
So on the 26th, I have a few changes to make. On page 3 of 4, down on the EOS comments, it says Priscilla Kendall is, passed away. It's actually Priscilla Kimball, and we could have Sid in quotes in there, because most people knew her as Sid. I think that would be beneficial. And then under that, it says Long Canyon mentioned a penny sale is scheduled for June 29th. That should be the Middleton Recreation is holding a penny sale on June 28th at the Middleton Elementary School. And also it says a penny bingo event. We cannot do bingo games involving money. That is a candy bar bingo game, not penny. And then it's also done by the rep. And then the other thing is there's no numbers on these minutes, and it would be helpful to have the items numbered to go along with the agenda numbers. Makes it easier for the girls.
Okay, so my recommendation is we'll table these minutes until the next meeting. 6:22. Sorry, 6:22. I don't know how sports break.
All the changes.
6:22, so we'll table those, we're gonna make those corrections. Is everybody fine with those corrections and bonds?
Well, I mean, I'm going with those calls, yeah, I think those corrections are fine, and we'll make the motion to accept them with the amendments.
Okay, and then we'll just sign them at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that then. So Tim's gonna make the
I'll make that
motion
motion, yeah.
to accept the minutes with the amendments.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So we'll just be looking for, so Kim just make note, we're just gonna be looking for signature, no amendments.
So, Bonnie, I got your updates, and Kim, I'll forward it over to you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so signature action items is what we have next. It looks like we have a personal action for the big strike. So this is a new hire?
No, it was an error on our part. He wasn't being paid for the correct EMS level.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it states on there.
Yeah, he was being paid as a basic employee in SMT.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's going to be a pay adjustment. So, someone want to make a motion that we accept that?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So we'll just put the signatures on there.
Motion to accept.
I don't know, right? So we will move on to new business. Oh, yeah,
Can we have old business?
there's nothing listed here. That's
We
fine.
were supposed to be talking about the security
Oh,
fire.
yes, the security system. Because that came up in the last meeting, so. So, The last time we can recall is that 2 meetings ago, Scott is included, the chief is included, that we voted to go ahead and move forward with Burns Security.
Right.
Then it came up at the meeting, at the last selectmen's meeting, that there was a cost that didn't get included, I think.
And we have some type of handout right for all of that.
Is this in anybody's hand? Did everybody, is this not on here as a security and fire comparison in your package?
You guys should.
It was the last page. Well, we did the next last page. And so you all have it. So we're based off of, right now, based off of 2 meetings ago, we agreed to go with Burns Security. And then there's an issue that came up, or a concern that came up that cost was gonna be more.
Where did the 11,000 come from? I'm not seeing it.
This, all right, can I get through what I'm talking
Sure.
here? So that brought up the discussion of what were the straight numbers from what would be for initial cost versus annual cost for Cunningham, Burns, and Hackworth, because those are the 3 companies we had. So, we reached out to Scott and asked for, some better clarification on this to make sure we knew what we would be going to be paying, if we were going to pay anything. So, now this is what we have here in front of us. So, Cunningham, the initial cost is $5,200 around here. Burns,
Sorry.
whoops.
I was just gonna say, keep in mind, that doesn't include security for any of these buildings, because they already
Right, that's
have
fine.
security. That's why there's a big price difference on the initial cost.
Okay. In Burns Security is, the initial cost is $11,000.
Where did the 11,000 come from?
Scott?
It's, the quotes.
Because one of the quote, I went through it with Scott, I got 9,128. Okay, well, there must be something else. So what am I missing?
What's that?
What am I missing?
I can give you the numbers right now if you want, you can.
Walk me through.
So the initial cost is going to be your setups. So you have $1,000 for the police department. Then you have $4,720 for the fire side, for all the buildings.
So I have 4,720 for fire, 4,408 for security,
4,720
for fire.
for fire.
I have 4,408 for security.
Okay. I can give you the numbers from the quote if you want.
Pretty much right, Keith, but
So $1,000 for security for police, 4,720 for fire,
Yeah.
1,844 for the Old Town Hall security, 1,282 for the Highway Department security, 1,282 for the Fire Department security, and then there's 450. You look down on the optional Z-Wave lever, you'll be able to lock and unlock and disarm right from the door. It's under optional Z-Wave add-ons. That was $450 for the fire department and $450 for the police department. And that's your initial upfront cost.
So that makes up, that's what the $11,028 is.
Yes.
So, given that, if we look at the annual cost, so we'll look at everything in general in total. So the annual cost for Cunningham is $4,383.60. Burns Security is $4,716, and Hackworth is $3,504. So, I guess the discussion is, did we want to, well, we wanted to get clarification on the numbers and then maybe rediscuss this. So, I'll put it out there for.
go make a motion to reconsider.
Yes. Yes, I'll accept the motion to reconsider the security fire for all of the town buildings. So someone want to put that forward?
I'll second.
No, I'm asking for somebody to make the motion.
Middleton just did.
No, I did
He's
not.
shaking his head no, so that, but that's what we're discussing. So if somebody wants to make the motion to reconsider, then we can discuss it. If not, we're just gonna stay with going with Burns. Okay, sounds like there's nothing there, so we will continue to move forward with Burns. Alright, so now, new business. So we have department heads, emergency management,
Steve is out of state.
okay. Fire and EMS,
Beard Will and the fire chief.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Correct, so we're gonna move forward with Burns, which means that we're going to have Burns out here soon.
yes.
We're gonna contact them to get them out here, start that process.
Spoke with all three of them today and told them we'd follow up tomorrow with
Okay, keep that, what's called this, we have the first quote we have is from May 1st, 2025.
They all confirmed today that the quote numbers are good.
No, I'm just saying, that, like I said, we've been doing this for over a year now, so we're gonna be done.
Yeah, numbers are good.
Sorry.
Sorry, Beard Will, the fire chief. This is the report for me. We did 30 calls for service, 20 of those were medical aid calls, 10 were fire calls. It was an extraordinarily busy month for Middleton responders. We almost doubled the average amount of calls that we do. We did 16 calls last month for reference, so maybe the month before, sorry, April. So it's an extraordinarily busy month for us. As of the time I wrote this, we were at 100 calls, we were at 101 calls for the year. Indigo Street Engine 4 responded to an e-bike accident on Lakeshore Drive. We transported a pediatric patient to Portsmouth Hospital Trauma Center. Myself, Captain Andrea Bowden, and Firefighter Steinman. During our transport to Portsmouth, Engine 4, Tanker 5, Forestry 2, and Middleton ambulance responded for a motor vehicle accident on 153 with a box truck on fire. And the outcome was good. We all been transported and our personnel extinguished the fire. We had several other serious medical calls requiring advanced life support. During this busy time, we'd like to thank Farmington for assisting with one call in town, as we have multiple calls going on several times during the month. We'd like to congratulate Firefighter Steinman for completing his Firefighter 1 certification along with his Hazardous Materials Operations certification. So that's the first of the in-house class that we held. He was able to test a little bit early, so that's the first of the class we held in-house that has achieved the certification, and the others are working for the hazmat operations starting tonight, and in a couple of weeks they'll be testing. And we'll have several more certified firefighters. We'd also like to congratulate Nancy M.T. Cole. She was accepted into paramedic school and she'll be starting soon. Members of the fire department toured the Freesville Pine Sawmill to identify hazards and familiarize with their operations. The tour actually took place just 2 days before the Searsmont tragedy, a very similar operation in Maine, so the timing obviously is kind of odd to kind of reflect on the hazards of a situation like that. We'd like to thank Tim Healy for taking the time. He spent the entire evening with us, touring the facility and explaining to us how all our operations work and some of their unique hazards that we need to be careful of. Our new Zoll Z-Nex cardiac monitor was placed into service just hours before being utilized for transcutaneous pacing of a patient. It basically means that we shock their heart and keep it going at an effective rate to the hospital with a survival result. This kind of highlights the amazing support of the community to get us this life-saving equipment. Without that, these outcomes wouldn't be possible. So thank everybody for that. Anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, wasn't there a security walkthrough of this building, the old town hall? Do we have any findings?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that you?
I apologize. I thought that was covered last meeting, but.
Oh, I wasn't at the last one, so you don't have to, never mind, I'll get it. Yeah, follow communicate, but it was actually good news. So we got to make some updates and corrections that they'll be able to utilize, but, yeah, so it's not totally shut down. Thank you. Next up, highway department.
Who's a good vote for?
Right here, good. I'll pick that up. That will. Ian Phillips, PHILLIPS, resident road agent. This is from May 12th through June 8th. We finished falling off the spoil pile that was down at the salt yard there that came out of this parking lot here. Put up the flags. Started hauling the 1.5 inch crush pile that we had crushed a couple years ago up in the New Durham pit, which is up on Kings Highway. Haul that down here to the salt yard so it'd be readily available when we need it, so we wouldn't have to go up there all the time. We did haul that pile off. Did a driveway permit on Spruce Road, right New Durham Road a couple of times as needed. Cleaned up the beach and had the chemical toilet delivered, so that's all down there and ready to use. I think they come on Thursdays to clean that up. Went down and pumped off some water off of Lake Shore. We had some heavy rain, it was going over the road, so the fire department assisted us on that. It was a lot of volume of water there, so they pumped for about 3 hours. Got it so it wasn't going down over the road, and they started working on that pipe, and lo and behold, the day before they started working on the pipe, I went over there because we had some heavy rain, and it was flowing. So, but they are replacing. They're putting the drain manhole in, and they're doing the work right now. So that should be a past issue now, as far as the drainage goes over there. Mowed the lawns and did the trimming a couple of times. We're doing that as needed. We had a few potholes on Silver Street and Pinkham. Took care of those. We had some rain and some wind, some heavy wind. We had some limbs and branches down. We went around and picked those up. That happened a couple of times. So we're doing that periodically as well. I took the week of the 25th off through the 28th, so I did take a little bit of a hiatus there, which was greatly appreciated after the long winter. We had the remainder of the winter sand pile that was screened a couple of years ago. We've hauled that off. That's all down here. All I have to do is push that up and kind of tidy up that pile, but the winter sand is all down here at the salt yard now. And we started hauling the 3/4 stone. We have 3/4 stone, 1.5 inch stone, and riprap, which is the stuff we use in the ditch lines to stop erosion. So, and I did talk to Frank Hartman. He's the one that did the crushing a couple of years ago. Told him we probably would be looking at maybe doing some more crushing next summer. Told him when he had a rain day or whatever, he could come down, check the pit out, and we'd make a plan on it. Let's see. Took the pump readings. I do that every month at the beginning of the month, so that Kim can do her thing and charge accordingly to the departments, highway department, police department, fire department, school. Put a message up on the board for the rec department, which I do periodically, and whoever else needs one, go through the proper channels. And if they have an event coming up that they want on there, see one of the board of selectmen, and we'd be happy to, upon approval, put whatever message up there. No problem. Check the beach twice a week. Usually check it on Monday mornings to make sure there isn't any unsightly things or trash down there. And we usually check it on Thursday just to make sure it's ready for the weekend.
Had a pothole on Pheasant Road that someone thought may have been a sinkhole. I went and checked it. It was over where a culvert was. There's no problem with the culvert. I checked the culvert out. So we put some patch in that. It was just a small little divot. I think it was probably a rock that heaved up and went back down. But anyways, we'll keep an eye on that after it rains. And let's see. I rechecked on the pricing. I don't know if everybody saw the excavator that we rented last year. It had the mulching head on it for the side road mowing and stuff. I did recheck on that, and the price did go up 5%. The machine price was $177 last year, and it was like 186 this year. I've got the quotes for that. We're going to look into purchasing that. Right now we have a little upwards of $64,000 in the block grant. We have another $66,000 in capital reserve fund, and they're going to give us for a trade-in value of $40,000 on that. And I do have some rental money, and so we're close to it that we wouldn't be asking that money from the taxpayer as far as in a warrant article or anything like that. So we are doing our homework on that, just so everybody knows it's not something that's going to come up out of the blue, and it's not, so it's not a surprise. And this machine here, as the PD needs their cruisers and their equipment, fire department needs all their equipment, this piece of equipment will do, I can keep that machine busy every day. And it's going to get this town vision-wise and all the stuff growing in on the roads and all that. It will take care of that for us, and it's a purchase that we should make. So just so we're on the up and up. It's nothing, no under the rug stuff. So all right, that's all I have for right now.
Any questions for Dan? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Police.
Scott Ferguson, Police Chief and Resident. Your report in front of you, summer is definitely approaching. Our activity is increasing. Incident reports are up by about 10. So we're up to 71 this month as opposed to 61 last month. 2 arrests were made, opposed to 0 last month. 3 motor vehicle accidents were had in May. We just had another one this afternoon down on 153. And motor vehicle activity has increased, which is a good thing, because when you have an increase in all the others, usually you'll see your motor vehicle kind of drop back because the officers are tied up behind the computer and what have you, documenting and typing everything. So activity is going up, and I only expect it to continue to increase, small margins throughout the summer until we get back into the fall and population kind of goes back down. So state police has come to town quite a few times over the month of May, in after hours and in other situations here in town. So that side of the activity as well, we don't document. It's not documented in our statistics because I don't have access to everything that they get called for. But I do have access to anything that dispatch puts through the law. Our speed trailer, we've been deploying that. I'm sure most residents have probably seen that all over town. Kind of using that as a deterrent and also as an educational piece. I was just talking to a resident down past Governor's Road this afternoon while directing traffic from the accident, and I explained to her that we put the trailer up, now as time allows, we'll try to put a cruiser right in that general vicinity as well. Out of there, everybody's well educated, they know what the speed limit is, so there's no excuse. The other thing we did is our speed trailer has a data collector on it, so it keeps track of dates, times, vehicles, how many vehicles, and what the speeds are. I don't think, I can't say this with absolute certainty, but I don't think it was ever set up previously. I wasn't here when the speed trailer was purchased, but I did work with the manufacturer over the month of May and got that up and running and working. So we're starting to now get some statistical data from the locations that the speed trailer's out at. It's currently out on New Durham Road today. We'll be out there. I try to leave it in every location for about a week. That way the data has a little bit more to it than just a daily log. School events. We worked with the school throughout the month with a couple of different events. We were down there kind of on a community event, helped do some hauls, plant some trees with the kids. We also down there for a few other events. Again, recruiting and staffing. We do have some interest, and hopefully we'll see some candidate pool coming forward in the near future, I hope. We do have some people that are scheduled for ride-alongs here in the near future that want to come right along, check the community out, and then make a decision. So, working with Carl, that continues. We're continuing to work on most of the properties in the town. The issues arise as far as code enforcement type of scenarios. Right now, we're typically doing a ride-along, the two of us, once a month, where we're checking on these properties that we're kind of trying to mitigate without actually taking any monetary action against them, if you will. So as long as we're seeing progress. So we have a spreadsheet that is shared amongst us where Carl will update it with information, I'll update it with information, so that we kind of know where each other is on those things. We did have one person actually file a court hearing on a code matter. The courts did find in our favor, but they found in our favor because the defendant failed to appear. So I was hopeful that they would appear so that we could get it before the courts and basically argue it if it needed to be argued, to kind of get an idea of what the court's feelings are on some of the violations, but unfortunately they requested the hearing and failed to appear, so we didn't get any finding from the court other than in our favor because they weren't there. So, and Carl did a great job preparing for that, documenting and keeping everything in order for it. So, our LDTs, we still have 2 that are down. I did reach out to the company. We've kind of gone back and forth. We're playing a little phone tag right now, but they do have instead of replacing them, they actually have an update, which is far cheaper, and apparently they can get them all back up and running. Basically, it's just they're on old Microsoft technology, so as you're trying to transition to the new Microsoft technology because the old isn't supported, the background apps, I guess you might want to call them, or the programs, they're just not interfacing very well. They're not happy with each other. So they're supposed to give me a quote on that, and I'll get that before you guys here probably next month. But right now we still have 2 up and running, and at the time we don't typically have more than 2 cars running at the same time on a shift. So, Officer Hutchins went to training this past month. She went to interview and interrogation school up at the New Hampshire Police Academy and successfully completed that. For those of you that haven't seen, we put it out on our Facebook page, e-bikes. We're fielding a plethora of complaints and concerns as far as e-bike operations and as far as the e-bikes in the community. We did put it out on our Facebook page, so just with some educational information for parents. We also asked the parents to please help us in educating their children as far as it pertains to bicycle laws. There really isn't much more on that right now because legislation hasn't really adopted anything more than to say that an e-bike is basically treated like a pedal bike. Summer events, we have summer events coming up, so we're working with the rec as far as some of their events. I know they have a celebration coming up on July 11th. And then we have the August event, so we're still working on those, orchestrating those. I met with the principal at the school today about placing the school day on June 17th. I'm gonna write something up today or tomorrow and meet with her, finalize it, and then hopefully within the coming day or 2 it'll go out. It's gonna be a very small event. Basically, we're gonna host it here at the Old Town Hall as far as outside. Parents can bring their kids and their bicycles down. And then we'll escort all the kids to school that morning on their bicycles for those that choose to. The one caveat with it though is that the principal has asked that after all the kids get to school, that the parents be available to take the bikes home because they don't have the ability to get down there to park all those bicycles. So that'll come out here probably in the next 2 or 3 days as far as through the school and also on social media. And then the other thing I bring up is we're coming in the 4th of July. Currently the town of Middleton doesn't have an ordinance on fireworks. So we're just reaching out, letting everyone know, you know, be kind to your neighbors, be thoughtful to your neighbors, and if fireworks are something that are in your celebrations coming up, just be thoughtful of everybody else around you when you're lighting them off. And we'll deal with them on a case-by-case basis as we get called. Other than that, I always wrap it up the same way. We urge any residents with concerns, complaints, or compliments to contact us, come down, give us a call, email, whatever the case may be. We accept it all.
On the ordinance, we do have an ordinance that does speak about unusual or vibration being felt from sounds in the ordinance book. So I don't know what constitutes an unusual or.
Can I ask a question on that? What year is it from?
It's in the current book.
But when was it implemented?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine.
I can find
I'll
out.
find out. Okay, any other questions? Are the ordinances available online?
Yes, they are under the planning board.
Nice.
Documents, planning board, they're at the bottom.
The selectmen's ordinances.
Oh, selectmen's ordinance. I don't know.
So this
This
was
isn't the actual town ordinance, yeah.
a zoning ordinance?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Town clerk, tax collector. Oh, sorry.
Have you passed out helmets?
Yes, I will have helmets. And speaking with her today, that's one of the things that we've got to kind of iron out, because her plan was to send staff up here to help orchestrate going down there. So she basically said, well, if that's the case, I can't have staff there until probably 8:10, 8:15. And I said, well, we're going to give out helmets and what have you. You know, obviously they start a little sooner than that. So the kids aren't late to school. So we're going to kind of work on that. I'm actually going to reach out to the Lions and see if they have any volunteers that would be willing to come over and just kind of help as we guide them along. And if that's, and kind of keep them corralled, if you will. So if that's the case, my plan is probably like 7:30 for a start time, and people would start to arrive. Those that need helmets, want helmets, and come get helmets. We got, I think it was 35. I got 35 helmets through a grant with the, I forget the name of the organization. Basically, traumatic brain injury out of Concord. So, and I have them already picked them up throughout the community.
So Scott, if you need anything, I mean, I can certainly come up and volunteer that morning, you know.
I could as
I
well.
was saying.
Cool. Yeah, I'll keep you up. Like I said, we're going to meet tomorrow. I'm going to write something up, and we're going to meet tomorrow morning and kind of jockey it around and hopefully have something finalized by the end of the day, if not Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll move on to the town clerk tax collector. The town clerk, we brought in $109,587 for the month of May. And then for the tax collector, we took in a total of $60,653.07 for the month of May. All right, and we don't have any treasurer's report, however.
Yeah, the treasurer here.
Well,
Yes.
Sorry.
No. I have a lot of other stuff to go over. Tony Manville, treasurer and resident. I would like to apologize for not being able to stay for the last meeting. I got the letter and paperwork, but actually I'm going to ask to rescind that. So I'm holding right here 2023 and 2024 paperwork to try to figure out and locate all this stuff. So you have a packet in front of you.
I have two, actually.
Yep, one's for the police department, one's for the fire department.
Right.
So we're going to fire department first.
Okay.
And this was for the fire department.
Yes.
So I had, like I said, I had a letter prepared, and when I was creating the totals, you had an Excel sheet that was very small, had very small writing, and I didn't over one of the numbers, so all of the adding was wrong. Because what happened is the monthly fee stopped at that month, and I went, whoa, and it didn't end up pulling it over. I did the rest of the year, but that one for the month of July didn't. So, I'll read aloud the letter that I have here. I get to transfer the approved amount of $13,653.75 from the operating account to the ambulance revolving fund. I requested on May 11th, 2026. I discovered the August totals from 2023 were not included in the final calculations. I'm asking the Board of Selectmen to disregard my initial request while providing me permission to initiate the transfer of funds from the town operating account to the ambulance revolving fund for the amended amount of $14,853.89. The verified total owed for 2023 is $7,350.72. This total includes the deduction of fees charged during the year. A difference of $2,453.13 cannot be accounted for in the deposits made during February. The verified total owed for 2024 is $7,503.17. There were no fees charged in 2024. A difference of $399.23 cannot be accounted for in deposits made during January. And included with this letter, I didn't, it'll be in the packet, but, so this is how, I was able to get the numbers for the year. So I didn't have much to go on when I was trying to find these, which is why we can't, figure out exactly what's going on. So QuickMeds is working on providing things in a better manner. And this next paragraph will talk a little bit about that. A rundown for both 2023 and 2024 deposits and withdrawals fees, which includes a breakdown for all categorized total. Chief Wheeler spoke with QuickMeds and was told they could verify the services rendered were invoiced, but have no way to track payments as they come from different sources. So that's why there was payments from 2023 for a month and 2024 for a month that, yes, bills were sent out, but we don't know where those funds are. I was able to find in 2024, there was a check processed through the town clerk for $285.13. But I couldn't find the remaining $399.23. So, let's see here. And both myself and a member of the board helped me go through all this paperwork to try to find the numbers. The combined total for the unaccountable funds from 2023 and 2024 is $2,852.36. Chief Wheeler is agreeable to have the funds remain in the town's operating account.
So my question to you, Tony, is
Yes.
you're looking to transfer $14,853.89.
Yes, and just so that you can see, I voted out the form that you guys signed before. I did not withdraw any money. When I realized that I missed that 1 month, I just voided that.
Okay. So before we move on to the next one, so we'll have this one here. So we're looking for someone to make a motion to move forward with that.
No motion.
I'll second.
To transfer the money from the operating account to the ambulance
Oh,
revolving.
we're sure what numbers this time, right?
Yes, we're sure that those are as sure as we can be.
Okay.
So what I learned from Chief Wheeler is that from the time that the services are rendered to when they're billing to when we are paid, the timeline is insane and there's no way to follow it. There's no way to, just like we know services were invoiced for, but we can't find if they were paid and how they were paid and where it is. I don't know if you want to speak up.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a better spot now than we were to date.
We are, yeah, it's really challenging. So some of these payments that we're receiving are from invoice bills from years ago. And so some insurance companies will pay QuickMed, some of them will pay the town directly. Sometimes we get payments from hospitals because wrapped into the hospital bill, they were paid by the insurance company for the the ambulance transport. And so it comes in from so many sources, it's almost impossible for the billing company to track what was paid and when and how and who. Because they don't, if they pay them directly, which is the appropriate channel, then we can track all those payments. However, a lot of these payments come through from third parties, or people come in directly and pay their bill, which is uncommon, but does happen. One thing that I would recommend the board consider is having all of the ambulance or insurance payments that come in go directly to the ambulance revolving account. That way we can track those figures directly rather than trying to go back through all the deposits and have Tony going back through all of the deposits in the operating or in the general fund and try to figure out which one of those came in as an ambulance payment.
So, okay, so we'll circle back to that right now because we have a motion.
Yes,
So I'm
just
gonna
one.
step in, I'll address that. So the motion is to go ahead with the transfer. Tim made the motion. Bonnie second?
Yep.
Bonnie second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now, to get back to your, I don't disagree. I think this is a good idea for any payments that are coming in to reimburse for the fire should go to the treasurer who also oversees the annual revolving account. However, it's just a matter of capturing those before they potentially get deposited. So I mean, we can certainly, if the board is fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, on the equipment side, it's as easy as I just send them a letter with the different account information, and then that's where they'll deposit it to you.
Okay, so because I do know, and Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, is there are some that get directly deposited into the operating account. So,
Yes, all of them, because it goes through QuickMed, so the bill, okay, so QuickMed does whatever they do, and then it somehow magically appears into the operating account.
okay, so you'll follow up with QuickMed to get that account, you can get an account number.
If it's the pleasure of the board, again, I want to make sure that's something that is.
So if you want to,
I'll make that motion.
to make the motion to have the medical payments that are reimbursed to the town go directly to the ambulance revolving account. Instead of going into operating and doing a transfer, so we can kind of hopefully avoid this mess.
Exactly.
And can I add one little piece to that? Any physical checks that come in, there's not a lot, but remember I mentioned that.
Any money that's due for medical to the reimbursement.
So those checks would go to me and I would deposit them. Okay.
That would be that's the goal, so that's the motion. Did we someone second? Jonathan, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now the next one.
Okay, that would be great because this is 2025 that I'm working on already. And I will say that I do have a list and Chief Wheeler knows what I could find, what I couldn't, and what I'm still looking for. So 2025 is in the works. Now we can go to the police department. That one's, and I will need you guys to sign that letter. Okay. Kim has the original. So now,
Yeah, that's all.
we're doing this one.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they're working up the way they are. All of these have been approved by Chief, and so it's just a matter of taking the money from the police revolving account and putting it into the town operating account. So basically, we're doing for the police what the fire department wants to do. So we have to reimburse the town for the payroll for the details. So you will have the number of hours and then the total amount transferred. The first 3 pages, the rate is for details is $66. The last page represents the increase where the number changes to $75 per hour.
All right.
And again, these have all been reviewed and approved by the chief.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to cover all 4 of these transfers at once. So a transfer for $6,270, a transfer for $1,650, a transfer for $726, and a transfer for $8,643.57.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So there is a spot up here, this one's not here, but for 3 signatures on each page, so if you can pick that would be great.
And then I can do little charges. So just right now in the operating account, we have $720,716.07. And in the sweep account, we have $365,536.07 for a total available balance of $1,086,252.56.
Thanks. Good, we have some money, and the money's exactly.
We do have money.
Tax bills.
Copy of what we just,
There you go.
all the sticky notes into an ass.
Hey, fine, you get out of your back.
Guys, notice that first. Okay, so any questions for the town, for the treasurer? Seeing none, we'll move to code enforcement.
Hi, Carl Ryder, Building, Code, and Health. For the month of May, there were a total of 23 permits issued. 4 of those permits are new houses, new build houses. And there's one larger garage that's also going on Pearson Road as well. It's going to be a large storage garage. A lot of the builds that had started out slow in the beginning of the year starting to ramp up too, so you'll see more buildings coming, mostly on Pinkham Road, but there's been a couple of other ones that have been popping up around town too. But most of our buildings are going to be on Pinkham Road. I would predict that to continue being the same trend. We just keep picking up until like midsummer, then it usually kind of tapers off into regular permits and stuff. The totals for fees collected for May is $11,703.30. Whole year, I think we're at like 27,000 so far for fees collected. Code, to piggyback on what he did, I went to court to take care of some cases and rules in our favor on that case, and they didn't attend, which would have been nice for them to have a back and forth, so that we have a little more evidence on how the courts want to view this stuff, but they didn't attend, unfortunately. But they did rule in our favor. Health, nothing has come up for Monster Health. That's it.
Any questions, comments for Carl? Seeing none, the next item on the agenda is DRA. So, we got a call from DRA, I think maybe it was on Friday or whatever, to give them a call back. That was, Mr. I think his name is
Sprayer.
Oh,
Cable.
yeah. And he was calling in regards to the warrant articles that were approved at town meeting because we have a tax cap and the state implemented a new law this year that said if you're below the tax cap during your meeting, you're supposed to ballot vote on those warrant articles. At the time, we were not aware. We sent everything over. We calculated the tax cap and we sent that over to our legal. Our legal agreed that we were under the tax cap of what we did last year. Apparently DRA looks at a different number. So right now our legal department is speaking with DRA's legal department to see what we can do to rectify the situation.
You know the discrepancies.
So they're saying, so when we calculated the tax cap and we sent it over to legal, it was basically what we read online is you take all of your prior year's articles, whether it was unassigned or raise the taxation, and we apply the 2% tax cap to that. And that's what we then applied that and said, okay, we were below that. Now, DRA is saying you have to use what's the rate is on the page if you look in your
So you're both using different calculations.
well, they're using like what's raised on the municipal piece in the book, which says it's like 1.4 million. So I need to go back and take a look at that. However, when I was talking to Bruce over at DRA, he stated, because this is new for them as well, so he needs to talk with their legal, and I said, we sent this all to legal on our side. They said that they gave us the blessing and said, yes, we were good, and we actually had legal counsel at our town meeting when we were voting.
That's correct.
So, so now they're going to be talking to DRA legal and see what we can do to, like I said, rectify the situation. Because they're saying that Articles 7 through 16 in our town book, because as soon as you hit Article 7, during 7, you go past the tax cap. And I said to the gentleman on the phone, I said, well, you do realize Article 7 for us has got our waste management, has got our garbage in it. We have to be able to pay garbage. We have to be able to do that. And so, because he was talking about, like, unless it's an emergency, I'm like, well, garbage is an emergency. So, like I said, I reached out to our legal gentleman who okayed what we said we were doing, and he is going to reach out to DRA to, like I said, see what we can do to rectify the situation. Thank you.
And of course, everyone's on vacation.
Right. So that's where we are with that. And as things unfold, everybody else will know what's happening as it happens. So is there anything else on the agenda that, or should be on the agenda that we didn't get to, and didn't get on the agenda that anybody wants to bring up?
So I got a phone call, I got a number of phone calls over the past 2 weeks, questioning the warrant we signed on the 26th for the dog forfeiture, saying that it shouldn't have been done until June 1st, and therefore it could be illegal.
The warrant for what?
The dog? Is that at the last meeting, the warrant, that got put?
The civil forfeiture, yeah.
Civil forfeiture for the dog.
Yes,
Okay.
we might want to look into that.
Okay. We can do that.
I mean, I think the worst case scenario is either redate it.
Right. I was gonna say, we met on the 26th, so.
Right, I was told by a few different people it might be there June 1st. When,
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure what date we
right.
met, because I know it was on Monday because of the holiday. All right, so we can follow up on that. Any other items? This is it right here. It says the warrant date is, we have a date in here for June 9th.
Yeah, but we signed on the 26th, so we need to look into it.
Okay.
Because that's the part that was brought up to me by not only told people in town, but few clerks I talked to as well.
Right, so I guess the clarification would be, is I guess maybe because we weren't going to meet until now, we were signing it on, and maybe.
Right, so the explanation I was given, I'm trying to explain the explanation I was given, is that it has to be done within 20 days of June 20th.
Oh, June, okay. All right, well, we can certainly, if we have to, we can post that we will be in the office to resign.
Yep.
And that date, so we will follow up on that, so I'll leave that back to you on the text. Okay. Any other board comments?
Yes.
Of course. Jonathan? Right? Bonnie?
The rec had our bingo game Saturday night, and we had a small turnout, but I think everybody there had a great time. We did make your own English muffin pizzas, and we played a bunch of bingo games, and had a lot of fun. Our next event, we are collecting donations to have a penny sale on June 28th. It will be at the school. If you have anything to donate, just let one of our members know. And on July 11th, I think it's one, I have to check. I check, it's either 1 or 1 3. We open the door at one time, and then the second time will be the time that we'll start calling.
But if you don't think that one, you know that, right?
No, not possible.
Oh, okay, all right.
I've had so many dates and times in my head. But it is on the town hall.
I don't know.
Is it on the town calendar? If not, I'll think we'll have it added to the town calendar, and it will be put on the sign out here as soon as I send the message. And then on July 11th, we will be having a Celebrate America Day. We're gonna have basic American food, burgers, hot dogs, cake. There's gonna be crafts, games for the kids, and just hang out, have fun. And then, of course, we will have our old home event on August, I believe it's the hopefully we'll get the highway and the fire department, and police department all helping us out with that again, and, food trucks and all kinds of stuff for that, raffles and.
Before I open up to public comment, I have a question. David, do we know when the electronics day is going to be?
I think it's the 17th,
Okay, that's gonna
whatever
be.
that Saturday is.
It's
It's
gonna be-
actually
No, it'll be.
August.
It's always right around Old Home, that's why maybe.
Yeah, we usually do the second Saturday, but August starts off on a Saturday, so I went to the third.
Oh,
That's
August.
so it's the 15th? Yeah. Okay.
And we'll get that out on,
Yeah.
online, and
I think he put it in a pamphlet as well.
do we have a?
That's why I said the 17th, because I think he contradicted him, said it was the 15th, and then he put the 17th, but it's the Saturday.
Okay, no, yeah, I know it's always, okay.
Yes.
I just made me think that when she mentioned the Old Home. I don't have anything, so I will open it up to public comment.
Yeah, what time is that, I'm sorry.
What times do you usually run, 8 to 12, 8 to?
Yeah, 8 to noon.
Thank you.
And I'll check with NRRA, it was 30 cents a pound last year, and I'll check with the tires as well. The tires were 5 last year, and, you know, truck tires and all that work, but I'll check with that stuff.
No public comment. I am going to make a motion to enter non-pub for RSA 91A, colon 3, Roman numeral 2B, and RSA 91A, colon 3, Roman numeral 2E. Someone second that?
I'll second.
And roll call vote, Roxanne, yes?
Tony, yes.
Yes.
Thanks. We'll start. Dan, I'll come out and get you
Yep,
after.
I'll be there. Thank you, Simon.
With the fire department all caught up for 22.
So listen,
What did I do? What did I do? It's gonna give a lot of
Yep.
going forward.
I'm gonna ask the
Police department, all the way up, all the way up. And fire, we're working on 2025, but it's very much better now that we have processes in place and how we're
Wait,
going to
get sometime, get the,
Yeah, I know, I'm like reading all this and I'm like, oh, and then I'm questioning my brain, wait,